We're live.
Oh yeah, great. Welcome everybody to this MetaMask Snaps community call. Look like we have a bunch of people waiting to get in, and yeah, it's super exciting to. I think it's what the third or the fourth call that we have this year, Manbir, right?
Yep,
Something like
that's
that.
right.
Yeah, that's super exciting. So yeah, let's just get started. Like we have, I think around like 1 hour, and literally this call is all about showcasing our great hackathon winners that build like great snap during this journey. We will start with some quick intro and welcome. We'll go through like some what's going on with the MetaMask developer ecosystem, what we did around last year, what are snaps, and we like the source of the call obviously is having like those hackathon winners talking around what they build and showcasing what they build. And yeah, it's super exciting because each of the three team it's was a really strong winner, and we are excited to bring them also on board. And then we will also like have we announced it already, but we always going through like a refresh memory MetaMask Grants DAO for snaps and any builder out there that need grants, and then we just do a quick recap. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's so those are all the great people that we are showing this community call. I don't know, for the people that are here, you want to do a quick and dirty, like 5-10 seconds intro. Obviously, Manbir, everybody know Manbir because he's in each community call, and everybody like. But please feel free to intro yourself, Manbir.
Cool. Sure. I can go ahead first. Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Great to have you all here. I am community manager at ConsenSys, and it's great to be doing this community call again. If you are not here for the first time, you must have seen me on previous community calls as well. But today we have some special guests with us that we'll be showcasing who built some amazing MetaMask snaps in the recent hackathon. And I don't know, Nabil, Adit, would anyone of you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. So I'm Adit. Currently, I'm doing my Bachelor of Design from IIT Guwahati. And apart from that, I've been working with a Web3 startup like recently, like it's already 1.5 years. It's called Avalanche. Like we are creating a lot of crazy products for DAOs to manage their stuff, like voting, creating proposals, and managing their stuff. Yeah, and yeah, apart from work, I do cycling, and I'm pretty much passionate about that. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome, great. So next up we have Nabil. Would you
Okay.
like to go ahead, Nabil?
Yeah. Hey guys. So it's a pleasure and honor to have you here. Like to be presenting at a consensus community call. It's a really big deal. So yeah. Just a quick thing. I'm a full stack blockchain developer. I've been building in this space since January of 22, and I was the Web3 lead. Right. I was the one of the developers in this project of the MetaMask Ads. So yeah, it's really awesome to be here and presenting in front of I think so, close to 700 people. So, yeah.
Awesome,
Nice.
cool.
No pressure.
And we have Aritra from team EtherEyes. So he'll be going ahead later in the second team, and he'll be accompanied by Vashak as well, who will be joining us later. So that's a bummer of Crowdcast. We can only have limited set of people, but we'll be pulling up more people as we go. But Aritra, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, yeah. Hello, everyone. Myself, Aritra Bhaduri. I am a second year engineering student at IIT Patna. I am interested in Web3 and blockchain related domains since the last year, and I have been working in many related domains like Ethereum, and I have been using MetaMask for a while. And I have been interested in MetaMask and its applications like the Snap very recently, and I am very much curious about the ongoing potential about this technology.
Awesome, awesome, great, cool. So Francesco, let's kick it off then.
Nice. Let's get. Thanks for the intro. Super interesting. Yeah, so MetaMask developer ecosystem. So this is just one quick and dirty slide, like trying to understand like what is going around, like all this ConsenSys and MetaMask ecosystem. So for everybody that doesn't know, ConsenSys is not like MetaMask is not just a product of ConsenSys, but there are a bunch of different other products like Infura, Truffle. We launched Linea, so those ZK EVM rollups, and yeah, it's quite exciting. And we have different sides, right? For example, last year we kicked off different hackathons. We had a bunch of bounties, and we had also this one-day conference, and yeah, it was very exciting. We had around like 50 or more snaps developed by hackathon winners, and I would say around like 2,000 to 3,000 like submission on general hackathons. And then on the other side, you have like all the post-hackathon relationship where we actually bring hackathon winners or very interesting developer in our ecosystem to showcase and and really show what they can build and give exposure into our like Web3 ecosystem. Obviously, grants are a big part, and Manbir will show us a little bit what we're going on in the MetaMask Grants DAO world. But yeah, those are a lot of grants, and yeah, every cycle we are selecting different grants to give in our ecosystem. Cool, but let's kickstart a little bit what are snaps and why we need it, and especially like why we are empowering like developers in our community to showcase and build their use case on top of what MetaMask is today. So literally, like if you guys were, for example, in like in ETH India or in any other hackathon before, like you probably know what snaps are. But the long story short is snaps are literally like extension on what MetaMask is doing today. Think about those are like we're not calling like really plugins, but they are literally like extension on what the wallet functionality are doing it today. And there are different use cases. We go through like what are those use cases about. But we think that snaps are literally one of the biggest feature today that we're providing in the developer tooling ecosystem. And there are the other like two big pillars for anybody here that is listening. What to check out are definitely like the MetaMask SDK. If you're a game developer, you wanna natively integrate MetaMask for your transactions. That's a good use case. And then you have all the other developer tooling, the DApp API. That's also like a big part of the site. So snaps. So we define what snaps are. We also like want to define what are the trust and the transaction that are happening between the snaps and the extension today. So the cool thing is about like snaps that each permission that you basically give to the snaps to do is automatically and fully transparent to what is expected by the extension. So literally like you have zero permission by default. That means even if you want to ask for disk access or network access, is really cool. Like you literally need to grant access even for using the Wi-Fi network, for example. Also important to test is basically like the snaps have its own API. So basically, like you can interact with those API, but you can also like extend and playing with different API on different ecosystems. This is basically what I was meaning on granting access. You literally like even for like fetch and displaying data on transaction insights or access internet, you as a let's say user of the snap, you will be always like displayed, and that's I think it's something like is really honest for the end users in the future, that they really know what is happening and which transaction they have with the extension today. So technically speaking, a snap is nothing else as an npm package. You have like 2 or 3 files that are actually like specific, and one big recommendation that I wanna also like mention to everybody: if you're in a hackathon or you wanna showcase, you wanna take a snap, you wanna build something, just check out this mono repo that we create, and from the mono repo is already a pre-built snap you can take over. But how this mono repo or any like snaps will be is basically an npm package. You have a source code, you have a manifest, and a package package.json. So this is basically like what you will see, and is all bundled in a single JavaScript file, and everything is published on an npm. So basically today you're going to the npm link, and you're basically downloaded the snap. So today's snaps are only on Flask. This is the Canary version of MetaMask, so it's a developer-friendly MetaMask version full of developer tooling. And if you already like heard about, we're planning to launch Q3, Q4 on stable. So that's super exciting. So how we are planning to distribute. So today, as I mentioned, like you publish your snap on npm.js.io. You're deploying the dApp to invite new users, and basically when a snap and when the dApp invoke your snap, you will basically like be prompt to install the snap, and you click install and you install directly on your Flask. So this on the fourth step, you see what is how it's looking like on Flask. If you go on Flask setting, you see different snap. And now, for example, we have like the file snap and the startnet snap activated. Both, I mean, file snap is stopped, but the cool thing is that you can also see details and see exactly what is going on with the snap on their backend. After you do that, basically, like you literally have this kind of everybody can download and use your Snap too. So each tab can have the Snap downloaded in each tab. So that's quite strong also as a value proposition, because if a good Snap is developed and is really liked by the end user community, we can also like have this kind of momentum and actually provide something for our community that bring value. So you as Snap developer, you can actually build something and create this viral effect on having your snap being used in the community. Cool. So we spoke about what are snaps, what are use case, or let's say how the snaps are deployed and distributed today, but actually what are the real use case. So we will see super interesting use case today, but I want to like go one step higher and see what are the general use case. And obviously people, when I think about snap, think about like non-EVM compatible snap, and this is a big use case, right? So exchanging information and doing different deployments on different chains. Like I remember Ethereum the other were, and we showcased this snap in our, I think, 2 previous calls. Was called Cosmos Snap, and literally you were able to interact with the Cosmos chain on a snap directly on MetaMask. But I'm super excited also about like the IPFS snap or the BTC snap. So literally like those are EVM, non-EVM compatible snap, and that's exciting. But in the same time, you have also different type of snap. They are running through like privacy or identity. Communication is one super interesting. So like we had one team also like create some sort of like MetaMask chat in a snap. So you instead sending transaction, you could actually chat with this person. And also like same with like on basically online on-chain like notification. That's also quite exciting. You literally get notified on your machine if an event is triggered. And then you obviously have all the security snaps that goes into like, think about also account abstraction use case where you do account recovery, limit spending, or even like Guardian solutions. That's also quite exciting. So literally like there are endless use case that you can do today building a snap. And think about like every time that you wanted to build a feature on top of MetaMask, and today you are literally can as a community member. And we're super excited that we're pushing also like this wallet industry to the next wave of permissionless innovation. So as I mentioned before, this is an ever-growing API. I mean, today you can do different things, and we are also like pushing cron jobs and costume interactive UI. This is very exciting because a lot of people today snaps are interacting as a basically like single dApp interacting with the extension. But in the future, obviously, is the idea that you as a snap developer can even like add or costume UI your extension. So that's quite exciting. So let's jump into like the nitty-gritty of this call, and let's have Nabil and Adit like presenting your snap. I'm super excited. So your snap is called MetaMask Ads. I remember like because we were judging this snap, and was super exciting to see what you guys build. And I would say let's box like to around like 8 minutes, but obviously like we can ask also question around after your demo, and feel free to take it away, and exciting to have you guys here.
Yeah, going ahead. Like, give me a minute. I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, sure. Maybe
I think
before.
Francesco, you will
Yes.
probably need to stop sharing so that we can
Oh
move
Yeah.
on to
yes.
the
Let me stop sharing here.
cool. I think now you'll be able to share your screen.
Nice.
Cool.
I see it.
Hi everyone. So I'm Adit. So this is our product, like what we have made, MetaMask Ad. And yeah, first of all, I would like to talk about the challenges and opportunities in the Web3 ad space. So as we all know, Web3 technology promises to bring the decentralized and transparent solutions to various industries. But how we found that the ad space in Web3 is not as advanced as it should be, because many of the projects are still relying on the web 2 ad industry ad space, like web 2 ad spaces as Twitter ad, Facebook ads, and go on. Like, so these are the private entities that all stores the important content and in their own private servers. This means they could actually alter the metrics and benefit themselves by increasing the count, increasing the revenue. So which clearly shows the lack of transparency in this. And going ahead, and there are like some other major problems. Like, one of the main problems we advise high fees which is associated with the advertising platform, actually, which can be a barrier for some users. And another issue is lack of transparency that we discussed. And finally, we have the privacy concerns, because as users became more aware about their own data and how is it being used. So there is these three main factors. And apart from that, like, there are some solutions actually available in the web3 space, which address these issues, such as brave browsers, adx network, ad chain. But however, these solutions actually face some scalability, and which is like, because there are no many people using these chains yet, and they are still quite new and niche. So our proposal is to integrate Web3 advertising with our MetaMask wallet, which many people in the Web3 space already use. So this would help solve the problem of high fees, lack of transparency, privacy concerns. Apart from these, which actually solve the problem of scalability. So yeah. So next, yeah, what will be Nabil? You can go on.
Sure. So, hey guys, what exactly is MetaMask Ads? MetaMask Ads is a concept that the user will be able to see the ads on his MetaMask wallet itself, right? Once it goes into Uniswap or Aave, it does some activity, gets a MetaMask pop up, and it confirms, it pays the gas fees. Right after the transaction goes through, it'll get another pop up showing the ad, right? Next slide. So to explain right how this will actually work, there's this awesome diagram which is made by us too. So there are three main components over here, right? So we have the new DApp. The new DApp is a term that can stand for any content creator, any NFT collection owner, or any airdrop, right? Any new protocol that wants to market itself, right? That wants to increase its awareness for any particular event or any particular product, right? So what it does is it comes to our DApp or a DApp portal, it registers itself, and it mints and add NFT, right? That's the new DApp. The second component being the old app. Now the old app is the protocol which has a high activity daily, already going through, right? So based on that, once the user, like, more number of users will be using it. So if that particular protocol presents, hosts the ads, there are more number of users that will eventually go to these new dapps, right? That's the second part. And the third part being the user who actually comes and does some activity and checks out the ad. Feel free to just take a snapshot of this. It's a great diagram and really explains this thing. And the green arrow, as you can see, just talks about the flow of money, and the white arrow talks about the flow of information. So yeah, next slide. Next slide. We'll just go through a quick demo of what this actually, of how this actually goes. So the first track will actually be of the one that wants to present itself, that wants to mint and add NFT. So this is the front page. There are two tracks: advertisee and advertiser. We go to the advertiser track. So it could be a content creator, or someone who wants to raise awareness raise awareness. And yeah, so it'll just upload its logo, upload some content, right? Upload the name of the NFT, upload some stuff that it wants to be visible on the MetaMask pop-up. That is basically the ad, right? So as you can see, we've taken a generic example of Friends NFT collection. It's a great NFT collection, a relatively good volume, right? So you can check it out. So yeah, it some stuff about it, some description, and after this you'll also be able to the presenter will also be able to put a redirection URL. Now what does this mean is that once the user sees the ad on his screen, once he or she clicks on accept, it'll redirect to our portal, right, our page, and it will show a custom made what do you call page for that particular or presenter. And once the user wants to go to the presenter's link, that'll be that going to that will be done with the help of the redirection link that it provides. So now as you can see, the ad NFT has been minted, the success screen has been done. Right, moving on. We'll this is actually the metric screen. This is actually one of the biggest and most important highlights of this product is the the visibility. Now this actually has not been done up till now. The main issue being that for every metric that we update, it'll basically be updating a state, updating account on the blockchain. We'll have to other just pause for a minute. Yeah, so this is a very important concept where we'll basically have to update a state on the blockchain, and it'll require immense amounts of gas fees for each user that views it. So there are different ways to overcome this, probably batching transactions or something like that. But yeah, we have not exactly gone through this, and you can see the different NFTs, ad NFTs. So yeah, this is just play it. So yeah, as you can see, this will be like the old app, right? So you come now you're a user seeing this old app, right? You come, you connect to the wallet, you connect your wallet to it, right? You approve and install the snap. This is our snap that we made, MetaMask Ads. And once you've done this, you'll be able to do any activity. Now over here, this is generic activity of minting a token, right? Now instead of minting token, it can be any swaps, it can be any other thing. Once you do this, right, you pay the gas fees, and once that goes through, you'll be able to see the MetaMask ad pop up. And the MetaMask ad that gets shown right now is just goes through all the ad NFTs and randomly selects one and displays it. That's what's been that's what the current implementation holds. So yeah, I think so. It'll just be seen over here. So yeah, it's just quick text about Yarn protocol, but it's Flash Alpha's NFT, Parallel Alpha's NFT. So yeah, this will be the custom page that we will be making for each for each ad NFT. Once we click over there, we'll go to the redirection URL that was provided by Parallel Alpha once it's registered. So yeah, that's the user track. So I think so that concludes the demo. The next part being is what the future holds for this, right? So first one, the most important thing over here is going to be the payment scheme, right? So you can also do it in terms of cost per click, right? A CPC method where you can have a monthly, subscription or something like that. There are different ways to go about it. It's a biz dev problem, so yeah, we'll have to think about it carefully. And the second one being, full transparency. Again, the visibility is important. And the third one being, to actually have a targeted ads. Now this becomes important. There's this concept called as federated learning, but the data set is actually stored on the user's device itself. This prevents the data from getting out, outside of the user itself. So this will basically implement targeted ads without data leaving your phone. So yeah, that'll prevent data hacks or something like that. The fourth one being, this is something which can be done as soon as Snaps releases the UI updates on the Snaps itself. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That concludes our presentation.
Thank you.
Feel free to ask any questions.
Yeah.
Nice. That's super cool. How you guys you basically build from the monorepo on, and I mean you get basically how you learn about Snap first. Like what was the research? You use like documentation first, or you just jump into the README of the monorepo?
All right. So I think so. So me and there was another member, Kshitij. Both of us concluded that it's very important for us to have a novel-based idea, right? So it's really important to see with the perspective of a user. So what we did was we saw a couple of popular snaps that already were winners, and we tried using it. What's actually special about this? What's special about that? Once we did that, we went to the implementation, right? We directly delved into the code and we tried building, lots of different topics. We even tried building a gasless snaps, but that didn't work. We tried weighing the benefits to the, to the cons, right? Gasless, like you can do it by economy, like 2-3 lines. We thought, it's better to build something else. So yeah,
That's
explore
a
users' perspective more.
that's a great
Yeah.
way to get started with it, because it, I think, helps you understand what people are building, and helps you think of new ideas that you can incorporate, right? Yeah, great.
Exactly.
Nice. Super cool. Super cool. Yeah. No, sounds good. Yeah. Let's. And you also explain what are the next steps on your snap, so it's quite clear on that side.
Sure. So the next steps, right?
Oh yeah, no, you mentioned already, right? You want to do these 3-4
Yeah.
points, so I think it's quite clear. What are the things that you were expecting a little bit more on the Snap onboarding that you were saying, okay, this is something that I needed more. Is there something that you wished you had before? I mean, obviously UX extension on production, but is there something that you wish that we had before building the Snap?
To be honest, snaps in general, it's a great way to like the guys at ConsenSys have done a great way to generalize things, because you can literally build anything and everything that helps include, like helps better connectivity. And I saw the track, and like every possible thing that we could think of, it was like, okay, ConsenSys is already doing this. Yeah, it'll help provide better connectivity. So actually no particular thing which has not already been built in.
Okay, sounds good.
Written down.
Awesome. Cool. I think it's all good. All good. Let's have EtherEyes snaps on board and see what these guys build. I think Aritra and Vaish. Sorry for the pronunciation if it's wrong, but welcome. I think you're muted, Aritra.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Vaishak to join the call. Is he? Yeah.
Nice. I guess we are there.
Cool. I have invited Veshak, and he should be able to join now.
Yeah.
Sounds good. You want to share your screen, Aritra, in the meantime, or you want to tell us what you build, or like which kind of snap, so we get a little bit context around this.
Yeah, actually, we have built a Snap. Our project was named EtherEyes, and
Mm-hmm.
the main topic of our Snap is to optimize and show the user about the coming estimates of the Ethereum gas prices. So,
Mm-hmm.
by estimates, I mean that we are trying to show the user that what is the upcoming gas prices that the user is going to get within the coming 30 minutes or the 60 minutes, according to the user's preference. And by that we can actually reduce a whole lot of transaction fees that the user get can get during the moments of high traffic in the chain. So yeah, so that is the main problem of our project, which is named Etherise. So this is what the problem statement in a nutshell means, that should I wait or should I pay. So if I should wait for the gas prices to lower, or should I pay right now, and the gas prices will is predicted to go higher or lower. So this is the main concern that the user has while making any transaction over Ethereum blockchain. And so to solve this issue, we have designed the Ethereise Snap. So it actually uses historical data of Ethereum gas prices, uh, last 300 hours of Ethereum gas prices in a candlestick manner, and it runs a autoregressive model to calculate and predict the upcoming gas prices. So if Vaishak's here, he can explain it better. So yeah, he's here. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Veshak,
over
could
to you,
you
Vaishak.
please go ahead with a quick
Yeah,
introduction first, and then you can get started with talking
yeah,
about
sure.
your snap.
I'm Vaishak. I'm a final year student at IIT Patna, and again, we were the winners in the Inter IIT Tech Meet. Our project submission was EtherEyes, which Ajita was talking to you about. And yeah, I believe Aditya has told pretty much what we were planning to solve. So the main idea of should I wait or should I pay, like will the gas price go up or down? This is a dilemma that we were trying to solve. And as he said, we use some predictive machine learning algorithms to go ahead and solve this. So Aditya, if you go to the next slide, I can explain uh, the functioning of the snap. Sorry. Right. Yeah, you can fast forward to like the final.
Yeah, I think this is the final.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. So what we can see here is basically that the Snap itself, it takes data from API. So there are several APIs out there. We use an API called Oracle to actually give us the historical gas price data. We then fed this into a model called S-Arima. So that's again the auto-regressive model that Aditya was talking about, which is a machine learning model that can do predictions on time series data. And gas prices is essentially a time series data because the gas price varies with time. So we used this model, we tested this model and its performance, and we found that uh, it was performing quite well in this kind of data. And so we take this historical data from the API, feed it into the model, get the predictions, and then uh, take the predictions and basically display insights and give notifications to the user using the Snap. So that's what this architectural overview is basically talking about. Let's not get too hung up with the overview. I think we can go directly to a demo. So Aditya, you can take it away.
yeah. So let's get to the demo. So this is the initial UI of the Snap website. So from here we can start by installing the Snap in our browser. So the installation dialog pops up from MetaMask, and here we can see what are the features that it wants to access, and we can install the Snap. After that, we can see that we can send a dummy transaction from the website itself to check that whether the gas prices prediction is working and how well it can predict. So trying to send the transaction, it will send us transaction to a dummy address obviously, and we can go to the EtherEyes tab. We can see that it is loading the transaction insights from the model that is hosted on another localhost server. So here we can see that the data of the transaction insights has been displayed, and we can see some of the key insights, that the forecasted average gas price for the next 30 and 60 minutes, as well as the expected savings that we can expect to get for the average gas limit. So according to our predictions, we can see that what amount of gas we are going to save at this moment. So we are rejecting this transaction right now, and now we can actually check the gas fees here itself by clicking on the get current gas fees button. Here we'll get a notification from MetaMask, which uses the notification API, and here we can see that it is getting the data from the API. And so the user can actually check from here also that what is the prices going on, but it is better for the user to get an automated process where the user will get the data directly from the API in an automatic manner without having to click every time on the message. So for that, we have designed a notification system which essentially uses the cron job feature of the MetaMask Snap. We have turned on the notification here. We can see that the notification bell, we have a notification bell here which we have turned on. So what it does is we can get a notification every 3 minutes from the API that what is the current gas prices. We can also set the urgency of a transaction from less urgent to immediate transaction. What this thing does is that it basically sets the limit of the gas prices. Like if we are doing immediate transaction, it will focus on getting higher gas prices, and while we are doing less urgent transactions, we'll essentially focus on getting the lowest possible gas prices that are possible in the given time frame. So here we have also plotted a recent time frame of the data that is actually given from the Aulrakel API. So here, like I have selected immediate transaction option, and here we'll get continuous cron job notifications from the API. Like here we have got currently a notification that the current gas fees. So for now we'll have to wait for some time, and we'll see that every time we are getting a notification, the gas prices are varying, and after some time we'll hopefully see a notification that the gas prices are low, like we are seeing now that I have fast forward to the video and got to a point where we are getting a low gas price. So we are seeing that the notification is suggesting us to pay now at the specified gas price, which is close to the prediction that Etherise saw. So this is how the majority functionality of the Snap works, and we can now pay and be assured that the gas prices is at the lowest for the current time frame. So this is more or less the entire uh, demo of the Snap, and we can see that the user experience is pretty straightforward and intuitive. And so that's all about the demo. So I'll be handing over to Vaishnav
Nice.
again.
Right. So as you can see, everything's fairly simple. The problem we are tackling is pretty simple, and the solution we have arrived at is also pretty simple. So now we can talk about what we can do further to kind of expand this idea and to increase its functionality. So, Aditya, could you please go to the future works slide?
Yes, yes, it's already there.
All right. Okay. I couldn't see it on my screen, so never mind. Yeah. So in future work, firstly, what we can do is improving the model itself, right? So there are a variety of things we can use there. There are ensemble techniques, deep learning techniques, or even multivariate time series analysis techniques that can be applied to give a sort of better prediction. But what I feel is the real scope here is in the automatic execution capabilities. So basically, we can make the Snap do things like automatically execute this transaction when the gas price falls in the threshold. So the user does not have to sit there and give the signal that, okay, you can go execute this transaction. There can be some predefined criteria, like if it falls in the threshold, go ahead and transact. And similarly, this automatic execution capability can be expanded to things like uh, like automatically execute this transaction whenever the model feels like the gas price reaches the lowest predicted value in a day. So this greatly reduces the manual intervention needed from the user side, and there are a lot more automatic capabilities like this that can be added uh, using this basic idea of machine learning prediction. So that's what we feel the future work for this idea is, and that's it from our side. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you very much. Good job. Did you use the monorepo to build the snap?
Yeah,
Or
we
how
have
was
used
it?
the monorepo. The monorepo provided the initial template to build.
Yes. How was the experience? Like run through like did you had
It was
any
very
leap?
useful.
Oh, sorry. You speaking? Go for it.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
here.
so the building with the monorepo was a very, I mean, it's a very easy task for any beginners also to get started with the monorepo. I would suggest that everyone, beginners should start with the documentation, because the documentation is a very handy resource and it is written in a very simple language for beginners to understand. And the monorepo contains the required codes, also contains a working snap and also with the front end. So it is easy to interact with the snap as along with the development cycle. So yeah, monorepo is a very useful tool.
Awesome,
Nice.
awesome. So I think tracking gas prices is something that a lot of people have looked forward to. But
Yeah.
I would love to hear from you. How did you get the idea to build this snap? And is there something that inspired you? Is it something like something that you wanted to build for yourself out of tracking gas prices?
So mainly, I would say that we have done a bit of actual research work in blockchain before, and some of our colleagues had expressed the intent that this is a problem that kind of is out there and would be nice if someone solved it. So then that was a long time ago. So, and when we saw this hackathon, we thought, okay, this is a great opportunity to go ahead and do it. And Snaps also seemed like the perfect tool for this problem. So that's kind of why we wanted to go for this.
Great. And anyone who is new to the Snaps ecosystem who would want themselves to get acquainted with it, what suggestion would you give them apart from obviously getting started with the Snaps documentation? What else should someone keep in mind while starting to build with Snaps?
Yeah, I would suggest them to go check out the snaps that already exist, because those are the, because what have already been built, they are excellent source to learn. You can check the code samples of the snaps. You can check the what are the ideas that one is working upon. And so you can join the Discord channel of ConsenSys, where there is discussion about different kinds of doubts, queries from the other users, and also the team replies and solves the problems that can arise in difficulty in development cycles. So yeah, so this is mainly the suggestion I would like to give to newcomers, that try to explore more in the community and you will eventually find a way how to build amazing snaps.
Awesome, awesome, great. So we also have Pratik on board from the next team, I think. But Francesco, do
Awesome.
you have any other question
No,
for the
that's
team?
super exciting. I also got what you want to do next, and make sure also you push like for a MetaMask grants in the future. I think like I was very a lot down when the extension I think was gastracker.com or something. There was an extension like helping me with like gas tracking all the time. And I think Snap is a perfect example for notification and event triggering in terms of like if I want to like execute some specific transaction, if the gas fee specific. And I think it's very valuable if it will be also on the UX directly. I think that it will help me a lot. Awesome, thank you so much, Rita and Vish. And yeah, let's invite. I think we have Partik and Ankur from SnapX next, and yeah, and I think like this is our third snap. And make sure also like if you have any question, ask in the question section, and yeah, enjoy this call. So welcome, Ankur and Partik, and yeah, feel free to take it away and show us what you build in this hackathon.
Yeah. Just give me a second. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect.
Okay. So first of all, hi everyone. Okay.
Yeah, you're audible. Either of you could go ahead, Pratik or Ankur.
Sorry for the. Actually, we are sitting in the same room, so just to avoid the echo.
That's fine.
Yeah. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. So hi everyone. I'm Ankur Patil, a third year student pursuing mathematics and computing from IIT BHU. I am a software developer interested in blockchain cryptography and cloud space. So I generally build apps in these spaces, and MetaMask was something in which I actually implemented the hardcore cryptography and the Web3. I just combined them, and it was really awesome. So the result was really awesome, and we really enjoyed building a snap. So yeah, and over to Pratik.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. So I am myself Pratik Singh. I am a second year undergrad at IIT BHU, pursuing computer science and engineering, and I'm mainly interested in software development. Also exploring blockchain and cloud native a bit. Like started off blockchain, exploring blockchain last year, and have just begun exploring cloud native a bit now.
Awesome, great. So could you just get started with talking about your project? One of you could probably start screen sharing and showing us what you built.
Okay. I'll just share the screen. Is my screen visible?
Yep, it's visible.
Okay, cool. So as soon as we got the PS, first of all, we decided like what are the problems they face, and like since we all of my teammates were like had some or the other exposure in blockchain, we decided to like discuss on the ideas and just work on something that is not yet built. So the first idea was that when we send transactions, we received a pop-up like, hey, you have sent this transaction from wallet A to wallet B. But whenever we receive any transaction, let's say sender A has sent a deposit to me, but uh, I can only see it when I click on when I open the browser extension or visit the portfolio site of MetaMask. So this is something that we worked on. In whenever I receive a deposit, we will just notify the user, and we are using it. We are doing it using the Etherscan API. The second one was, let's say uh, a user is registered on OpenSea, and he or she like gets the like an offers on NFT or something, and he or she has not toggled the NFT notification for OpenSea. This is something that we are implemented like whenever your browser is open, regardless of Snap is open or MetaMask is open, we will receive notifications of OpenSea. And similarly for DAO, let's say I am a member of particular DAO, and as soon as there is any voting in DAO, it will notify me about the DAO voters. And another thing, and this was the most important thing for us, like personally, I have worked on MPC wallets, and they are really awesome. So I thought that currently MetaMask doesn't support the recovery system. Like if I forget my set 12 word seed phrase, it will I'll just lose all my funds. So we decided to develop a recovery system in which even if I forget my 12 12 word seed phrase, I will kind of recover my system. So these were the pain points that we first encountered, and we decided to work on this. And so so these were thing we decided to make two snaps. One was related to notification, and second one was the recovery key. And for notification, I will hand it over to the Pratik.
Yeah. Yeah. For the am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. Yeah, for the Snap Alert, basically we tried to implement three prominent features, which were related to different fields, like in which Web3 has been going really fast. Like one was about DAO proposals. Second one was receiving updates whenever a user receives a transaction. Because currently, MetaMask only notifies a user when he or she has sent some transaction to some other person, but receiving a transaction for getting notified about a transaction being received, he or she had to open the MetaMask extension or have to go to his portfolio site. And the third one was notifying the user if someone has dropped an offer on his or NFT, or if he she has registered on OpenSea. Yeah. So yeah. So the traditional user flow. For getting notified about an offer on OpenSea was connect your wallet to OpenSea, go to my profile, click on more details, check offers. For DAO, similarly, it was go to the DAO platform, search for the DAO, navigate to the proposal section, check proposal voting. And third one was go to Etherscan, enter your public address, view all transactions, check transaction received. So we we tried to cater all these three problems by building a notification tab which could notify the user about all these three all the three, even if the user has closed the snap, even if the user has turned on the notifications and closed the snap, or he she just have to let the browser open, and he'll receive in browser and in-app notifications as well. So these were the features we implemented in the Snap Alert Snap. Now Ankur will explain the recovery snap. Yeah, also for the demo of the Snap Alert, like, yeah. Yeah, as soon as the user installs the Snap and connects his MetaMask wallet, he or she will receive all the all the offers in the browser, as well as a MetaMask notification when someone has dropped an offer on his or NFTs listed on OpenSea. So we have used the OpenSea test API for this purpose currently. And for the DAO, we are using the HubSpot. For the DAOs, we are using we are using APIs of various DAO platforms, or also for the transaction updates, we are using the Etherscan API to check if a user has any balance update or any balance addition in his or MetaMask wallet.
Yeah, thank you, Pratik. Okay, so I'll be sharing the next feature of our Snap, and that is basically the recovery system. Okay, so here, correct. We have two options over here. First of all, we enable user to set up the recovery key, and the second one is to recover the private key. The first, let's say, I have created my MetaMask account, and as soon as the user installs my Snap, what happens is basically we tell the user to set up the recovery key. Now, this recovery key is the public recovery key. That is like you can share this recovery key to many of your friends, or you can store it on Google Drive or anything. So this is not uh, a key where you can where there is a point of failure. So yeah, this is just like a public key. Now I'll just uh, click on setup recovery key, and over here what happens is basically we are using the biometric detection for making the recovery key. That is basically the the library scans your face and it encrypts your face with the node, the Ethereum node of your wallet, and creates the recovery key. And when the library scans your face, it creates a face ID. And I'll just continue the demo over here. Okay, yeah, it scans for the face, then it verifies the process, and again scans for the face for the basically making it the more accurate. Then it asks for the pin, and this creates the face ID. And now when I just complete my authentication, it will give me a recovery key, and this is the recovery key which is public, and this is basically encrypted with your face ID and the Ethereum node of your wallet. So this key can be shared with anyone and can be stored anywhere you want, and this is not something that can cause any problem to you. Okay, now let's say I have lost my account and I have copied this recovery key. I'll create my new account over here, and after a creation of new account, I will connect to the new account, and it will ask for the permissions. So just to be sure, like these are the permissions that we are giving your Snap. So we are using BIP44 entropy, which basically gets the access of all your wallet. It gets access of all your private keys, and this is the feature that Snap is providing to us. Then we ask for the notifications, and we are running our Snap indefinitely. And these are all the not these are the two important permission that we're taking from the users. Okay, now when I create my wallet, let's say I want to recover my private key, and currently my wallet has zero balance. There is nothing. It is new account, and I want to recover my account which I have lost. So I'll click on private recovery key, enter your recovery key, and reveal the private key. So I'll just enter the key. It will ask for the face authentication. It and once it verifies that it is basically you, the user is verified, it will uh, open the not pop-up, and it will give me the private key. And the important thing is that this private key is not stored in browser, it is not stored in the session cookie, it is not stored anywhere, but it is stored in the Snap environment in the pop-up only. So data is only passed in this particular pop-up. And when I just copy this and I try to import my account, and yeah, so this is the account, and I have recovered my account. To get into more details, and so basically this is the parent node and user's face ID. This is the basically one-way hash function, and we store it over here. And then we are using the AES encryption, which is a symmetric encryption for basically encrypting and decrypting the key. So we get the private public recovery key over here. When the user is recovering account, the user face ID is generated. User basically has to just authenticate himself, and after that, the public key and the face ID, when are decrypted, will get all the accounts that user has. And so this was from us. And for the future scope, at the time we built Snap, MetaMask didn't had the custom UI, but the new MetaMask update has the custom UI, which creates a lot of possibilities. Uh, Currently, we were using external library, and we can use in future we are planning to use we are in your planning to build our own library, and we are going to use the decentralized storage, which is Filecoin, in order to make sure that the face ID that is stored is going to be secure. And one more thing is that we can make sure to make it the iris detection for more accuracy purposes. And yeah, that was from our side.
Nice. That's super interesting. I really like the face ID
That was
side.
super cool.
Did you, yeah, how you guys started to build the Snap? Yeah, we went through like the monorepo documentation. What kind of like resources you used, or like was your first time building the Snap?
Yeah, so like we started off with the documentation itself, then jumped off to the Snap monorepo, read the README, and then we explored a few snaps which were already built by some users. So like we understood the code from the Snap monorepo itself, and then we basically try to figure out what we want to build by looking into some of the existing snaps and looking at and studying their code. So that was the whole process.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How did you find it? Like, did you add like some challenges or bugs during the 48 hours hackathon, or?
No, I think our experience was pretty smooth. The MetaMask documentation for the snaps is like well structured. We haven't had any difficulty while building the snap, although we had difficulty for figuring out the idea itself because the ideation stage was really difficult for us.
Yeah, that's what I was
Nice.
about to ask you. Like, um, the idea in itself, it's quite unique, I would say, associating your Face ID with your wallet address, right? Your MetaMask wallet address, your node, basically. So, how did you get the idea? Would you like to talk more about it? Did
Yeah.
you go through the existing examples out there? Did you want to build that by yourself? Like, how did you get started with that?
Okay, so we were searching for the ideas, and I randomly thought about like account abstraction or something. But then we found out that we have MPC wallets. So I used an MPC wallet called as Zengo, and when I registered my account, it automatically uh, set up the recovery key for me, like recovery kit for me, and it said that whenever you use your account, you can just import that recovery kit and your account will be recovered. So I was like, hey, like MetaMask doesn't have this feature right now. MetaMask has the 12-word C phrase, and if I just forget it, I can't recover account. So we were just locked into implementing something like this, and turns out that we figured the way to do this. We can also use it in like creating account. Like we can use the biometric authentication to create the MetaMask account or something like that. Like currently it uses like via password, and then it generates the 12-word C phrase, right? What we can do is like we can authenticate user using the face scan, and we can just store that particular key in the decentralized storage. And for verifying again, you can just use the face itself. So these are multiple uh, use cases can be there for, but we just try to use it for this purpose. And we can also use it, implement it using the fiat summary processing. Is, let's say I distribute all these keys to my friends, and in order to verify it, the all friends should be verified, so something like that.
Cool, super cool, super cool. So I think you can also implement probably other forms of biometric authentications. Like for example, if you want to add fingerprint or iris scanner in it, you can probably do that as well, right?
Yeah.
But I heard that you mentioned account abstraction, and I'm wondering if Francesco has any follow-up questions on that.
No, I'm very excited about all this account abstraction like use
Yeah.
case, and I think like account recovery, and I mean what you mentioned also through snaps is something that we're definitely looking into, and it's great also to see those snaps coming to life because this will be big, and yeah, it's I think it's not just a buzzword anymore. I think people are actually speaking like very concretely how to implement snaps on account abstraction use case. So thanks for doing that.
Thank
Nice, nice. I think we're good. We're on time. We have, I think, around 20 minutes. Let me share my screen. And by the way, for anybody that's here and there's any further question, like we should definitely like do some Q&A at the end. And by the way, we have also like some Twitter space the next couple of days with everybody here that we can actually speak a little bit more like, let's say, freely and informal on snaps, on feedbacks, on onboarding, on everything that is going around, like those snaps that you all build. Nice. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Let me share my screen. There you are. Cool. So we fill up the here. So MetaMask Grants DAO. I think like Manbir, you wanna take this over? I think like you had a couple of like good talks on MetaMask Grants DAO.
Sure. Would love to talk about MetaMask Grants DAO, and thank you so much to the teams who presented such amazing projects. And I would love for you all to keep building snaps. And just to talk about a bit more about MetaMask Grants DAO, Francesco, could you go to the next slide? Cool. So what exactly is MetaMask Grants DAO? So making MetaMask the most extensible wallet in the world requires decentralizing efforts to build it outright. And not only will this accelerate growth for crypto comfortable users, but it will also boost adoption for crypto curious individuals that will have more paths to explore. So we believe that the next step in the process is the MetaMask Grants DAO, which is an employee-driven, consensus-funded DAO that issues grants to developers building impactful experiences within the MetaMask ecosystem. So be it anything around MetaMask Snaps, be it using MetaMask SDK, for example, anything around that. So we seek to support developers across the community to be able to nimbly build on top of the MetaMask ecosystem while empowering employees to embrace Web3 mechanisms and contribute as one consensus. So there are some foundational pieces to the DAO. So this is employee-led DAO, which is the head of the DAO made up of full-time consensus employees, but we're looking to decentralize over time and add external contributors as well. And then we have leadership committee, which is the head of the DAO made up of 7 individuals responsible for finding high potential projects, creating governance proposal, updating external content, gathering feedback for the DAO, and so on. And then we have secure multisig, which is a multisig controlled by ConsenSys that will manage the token contract and treasury. Could you go to the next slide, Francesco? Cool. So the DAO will fund 2 types of grants. So the first one is leadership committee grants. And these grants are allocated exclusively to the leadership committee to vote on. And any leadership committee member can make a proposal, and any proposal with at least 5 yes votes at closing will pass. Leadership committee grants are intended to provide a quick and easy mechanism to those most closely tied to the grants operations to ensure that high quality projects that may be overlooked by the full DAO can be funded. Now, votes will be open for 5 days, and then the individuals proposing the votes will be responsible for making the case and otherwise taking any actions that they need to win the vote proposal. And then the second point that we have is the full grants, full DAO grants. And these grants are allocated for the full DAO to vote on. Any leadership committee member can make a proposal to the full DAO, and the proposals with more yes than no votes at closing will pass. Then the votes will be open for 10 days, and the individuals proposing the votes will be responsible for making the case and otherwise taking any actions that they need to win the votes approval. Next slide, Francesco. Cool. So we have some DAO objectives, and these 3 are the biggest DAO objectives: to understand and to fund and to engage. To understand how to operate a token and a DAO as a company, we aim to begin the process of progressive decentralization of the MetaMask Grants DAO by exploring a token-based governance model that allows full DAO members, ConsenSys employees, to vote on full DAO grant proposals. And more than 50% of the DAO's initial budget is allocated through tokenized proposal voting within the first 3 months of operation. The next point would be to fund meaningful projects that provide value to the MetaMask ecosystem. Each grant can be broken into multiple disbursements with specific milestones depending on the size of the grant. And the third point would be to engage DAO members, to aim to have 15% of DAO members participate in at least one governance proposal within the first 3 months of operation. Then we have the grants reward grant criteria. Can you go to the next slide, Francesco? Cool. So MetaMask Grants DAO is live, and if you have participated in one of the hackathons, just like the amazing participants that we had on the call today in the past, and are if you're interested in working with us again through our grants program, please reconnect with us and get in touch. If you have a Snaps idea, we have an open wish list as well, and some of the immediate focus area would be to enable a multi-chain MetaMask future by enabling support for strategic L1 and L2 networks, by enabling Ethereum features that will benefit our Ethereum developer community, such as smart contract accounts, MPC, delegatable authorization, SIWE, custom gas fee enhancement, etc. And then enhancing user privacy and security like transaction insights, phishing prevention, ZK proving, DIDs, and so on. So if you want to bring your features and APIs to the wallet, let us know. Can you go to the next slide, Francesco? So you can simply email us at metamaskgrants@consensus.net and drop us an application, or simply learn more about us at metamaskgrants.org. So you can simply send out an application from there as well. Great. So that's all about MetaMask Grants DAO.
That's super exciting. Did you saw some cool projects from MetaMask Grants DAO, Manbir, around
Yes.
these past few months?
Yes, so there have been some projects, as we mentioned, about making MetaMask more multi-chain, adding support for various networks out there. And it's always great to see people submitting these proposals, because even we want to support these projects, right? We want people to keep building on making MetaMask the most extensible experience, the most extensible platform ever. And we are all in to support builders out there.
That's awesome. Sounds good. Awesome. Cool. I think we're almost on time. Let's really recap quickly. So we spoke about snaps. We spoke about Flask. So like today, if you want to build a snap, you need to go through Flask, and you literally like can jump in those links to download Flask. In terms of like resources, so each like hackathon winners also like was really great to hear like those resources and when they go through. But I always mention like this mono repo to get started. You can use also this QR code. It gets you to a bunch of like snaps resource list where you have a bunch of videos. We have some example snaps like the StartNet one, the transaction insights, and yeah, it's super exciting. I think like we will have in the future a list of like snaps that anybody out there can download. But today, like you see, some are in this list here. And for anything like developer related, we have MetaMask Grants Dev, MetaMask Dev. So that's quite important. And yeah, like I just want to state that we have also like two Twitter space coming next in the next few days. I think also we push already some socials out like when this will be, and yeah, we're exciting. We will have also like more community calls happening. We have also like an ambassador program focused on snaps. That's also quite exciting. So feel free to connect with us and make sure we're literally tuning up, and also like make sure you are saying hi to the next events, especially like ETH Global Tokyo or like the Polygon in Fura tour, and obviously like there is Lisbon and the ECC happening. So that's quite exciting. But for anything else, like, and we are literally like 24/7 in Discord, and so if you go to the ConsenSys Discord, you will see like there are a couple of like snaps channels, but also if you have like problems with anything developer related with also ConsenSys product, or even if you have like a solidity question, literally like for everything, like we're there and our community is strong. And yeah, we're exciting. Yeah, we're super exciting to be in this builder market and see such a strong community. Did I miss something, Manbir, in terms of resources? I
In
remember
terms
you
of
had a lot of links.
resources, yes, definitely. So just be sure to follow us on all the social platforms where we do all these sort of spaces. Be sure to follow all the amazing people who presented these super cool snaps. I've dropped their handles in the chat. just make sure to follow them on Twitter so that you follow what they're working on. And yeah, make sure to meet us at the upcoming events, as Francesco mentioned. And that's all from our side.
Awesome. So thank you, everybody. See you next in both IRL or Discord. I also want to thank everybody that supported this call. We also go through the question that people asked, and yeah, I think like the bunch of people also in the same time that were tuning in and answering all your questions. So and these are all these people behind the scene are always so resourceful, and you have no idea, they know so many more things than us that we're here actually presenting. So thanks everybody, thanks Christina, thanks everybody that are supporting this call, and big
Yeah.
thanks also for Manbir to lining up and coordinating all this happening. I think this is great.
A big shout out
Cool.
to you as well, Francesco. Guys, make sure to follow Francesco as well on Twitter. I've dropped his tag on the chat below. Feel free to
Yourself,
follow me
yeah.
as well. And a huge shout out to our CS team, the customer support team, Christina, Josh, Marius, who are here supporting us in the chat. And it was exciting to have you all here.
Awesome. So thank you everybody, and see you in the Twitter space tomorrow or in 2 days.
Yeah, awesome. See
Cheers.
you.
Bye bye. Cheers.